Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 9th. It's March. It's 2025. And I've been busy for the last week. Look at that. Nice, right? Nice. I had a little accident with my truck and I caused some serious damage to the rear end of it. And for the last 5 days, I've been at my buddy's shop working on it. And we thought we had it fixed. We thought we had it all squared away, only to put everything back together and drive it and realize there was still another issue. So I'm stuck here. This is no joke. I'm stuck here in a very inexpensive hotel, but it had like a 9-star rating. I'm literally using my Starlink right now because the hotel doesn't have the internet. You kidding? You know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I got a lot to cover in this video because I haven't covered a lot in videos as of late. And let's start with this real quick. I did a video on this young lady, 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗱, and her scumbag boyfriend that strangled her and bashed her head open and murdered her. And all sorts of people in the comments are like, Richie, that was a psyop because that girl's wearing a Zion shirt. And yeah, you know what? It's not a psyop because, believe it or not, when this occurred, I was out there. You see that shirt she's wearing? Zion Outdoors? She's in Moab. And everything is called Zion. Every person that goes to Moab buys a t-shirt except me that says Zion National Park, etc. And it astonishes me that people are like, oh, well, that's a psyop because 33 was in there and Zion and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, but some of us that live in the real world, some of us that don't get all of our conspiracies off of the internet because we never leave our home state or our house. I was looking for her as she was MIA in Wyoming, literally. Okay? I'm quite familiar with this entire story. Why I did a video on this is because Netflix did a video and I thought they left her murderous boyfriend and her scumbag in-laws or whatever, you know, the murderer's parents, they left them off the hook a little too easy. And in this video, I didn't pull any punches whatsoever at all. And funny story is, there's no psyop here, okay? He killed her. But the thing is I might have to do a part 2 because I don't think this kid's dead. I think his parents covered it up. But that's neither here nor there. We got a lot going on, so let me get into it real quick. Also, Richie, you hate on other channels. Well, I comment on other channels that fancy themselves truthers. And many of them are using truth as a commodity. And when I see them doing that, yeah, I comment. You know why? Because lots of us gave up our entire reputation, our lives, everything to completely bring truth forward. No matter what the cost, no matter if we lost all of our channels, no matter what. And watching people monetize them, or better yet, push stories like the killer fog, that's not real at all. And if you drove around the United States, you'd see that. It's not real at all. But pushing that and then having secret informers and this and that, come on. Yeah, I'm going to call you out. If you don't like that, if you like your truth entertaining, don't watch my channel ever, okay? If you like your truth halfway there, Alex Jones-esque, whatever, have at it. But let's stick with the real world because we're looking straight down the barrel of some really seriously bad stuff. It is not very often you're going to see me do this, but right now I'm going to run this little piece by 𝗦𝗵𝗵𝗵 real quick.
This is 𝗦𝗵𝗵𝗵. It seems that we've entered a moment in time where big things are about to change. The currency that you use in life and have used all your life is about to change as well because they're about to try to digitize this through one big event. To lay out the groundwork for this, they had to go global, and they're about to implement it, and it was all scheduled to begin March 10th, the same day as this Federal Reserve Bank board meeting that is closed to the public. They were going to launch this. They're now saying they're going to sunset this till July 14th of 2025, meaning that we have a window that is opened here of time where they are implementing this brand new way that they're transferring money via cross-border payments and digitizing everything and connecting it to the ledgers, to the blockchain. And this was supposed to be all rolled out on the 10th. I've warned about this many times, but now they've like opened open this up to where it expands out, where it's going to be a slow rollout, but it's begun or beginning. They are going to phase out the old way of sending on March 9th. That was what the scheduled procedure was. So now they're giving it more time to be fully implemented and rolled out here globally. This opens the door for that world currency to be rolled out. Now, what Trump's done in the United States is he's already started attacking the fiat currency almost immediately. He came in and he's ordered that they do away with minting pennies. Pennies will no longer be produced by the United States. The nickel will be next, and they'll go right on down the line saying that they cost too much to make, and they're just going to remove them from the system. It's exactly what he's ordered thus far. Now, we have all this talk of the blockchain system being incorporated full scale, and the people that were worried about a CBDC that want to say, oh, Trump signed an executive order against the CBDC. That was just a buffalo, the people that didn't know anything about it. Because with the other hand, he turned around and he gave you blockchain via his Trump coin and backs WorldCoin and is openly stating that they want to be at the forefront of AI and crypto. So he threw a bone to all those people out there that have a small mind and cannot see this for what it is. You had a problem with the CBDC, he signed a piece of paper basically saying, well, we won't call it that, and threw it to you, and y'all took it and ran the other way.
So yeah, Trump's doing exactly what we knew he was going to do. And this is the front page of The Economist again, showing Trump burning the dollar. Burning the dollar. And they're making it sound like, oh, Trump's delusional. He's out of his mind. And people are like, well, he's going to get rid of the income tax and he's going to do this, that, and the other thing. Here's the fun thing about all of this. Trump hasn't done anything. Day one, he's done everything for billionaires and for the elite and nothing for us. That is a fact. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't like hearing it, it is what it is. A lot of people don't like hearing what the truth is. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like that. But it is what it is. Okay? Does it make sense now why I tell you to get your money out of the bank now? They planned on pulling this tomorrow. But now we've got more time. So if you were smart, you'd get your 401k and your IRA out of the bank. And a lot of you, I see, have done exactly that. And that's awesome. Because once they do this, in order to do this, if they were planning on doing this all tomorrow on March 10th, but they pushed it off till July, that means there's going to be an event and you're going to end up losing absolutely everything. If you have your gold and silver in your hand, you've got your wealth. If you're going to leave it under ones and zeros on the internet with the IRS and the Federal Reserve and Donald Trump and all these people in charge, you're going to lose it. And they're going to force you to do the social credit system. That's what all this is. So people like me and you, we're not going to be able to do anything whatsoever at all. And shutting down the IRS, did you ever remember the story I told you about the IRS a long time ago?
I am once again referring over to the Vigilant Citizen website, and the link will be in the description. But this is the IRS headquarters in Maryland. You notice anything strange or peculiar? You notice out in front of the building that there are two columns, one with a finger pointing that way and another with a hand wide open. It's like, hey, give me the money, throw it in this hand. And there's 13 stripes. It's black and white, which is symbolic of this. You see what I'm saying? The duality. They love their checkered boards. And if you notice, it's probably in pretty much every movie, every music video, it's all over the place. But that's the symbology right there, the symbolism. But it doesn't stop, because you might notice in the background, and centered perfectly between these two columns, Jachin and Boaz, much like this structure that's outside of the Israel's, I think it's called the Knet, one of the two, whatever, I don't know. But here you go. Here's the pyramid with the white capstone, the twin pillars. This site right here explains it. The right tablet of the law further signifies Jachin, the white pillar of light. The left tablet is Boaz. We've spoken about this on numerous occasions. And this is very, very symbolic of this. Remember these two towers? Yeah, Jachin and Boaz, and they use them much like you're seeing right here or right here. They use them in conjunction with a pentagram or pentagon. They use this and they created an enormous enormous occult ritual right in front of everybody's face, and nobody even got it. Much like people don't even realize that this is sitting outside the Internal Revenue Service. It doesn't really make very much sense, right? Like, I mean, what does this have to do with this? Well, if you've listened to any people that used to work for the IRS that are probably imprisoned or just getting out right now, they finally came to the conclusion that not only is there no law saying you have to pay your taxes, it's actually illegal according to the Constitution. And that would explain a lot now, wouldn't it?
So yeah, he's not shutting down the IRS. If you go to the IRS building in Maryland, that's sitting right there. That tells you who runs things, and Trump is one of them. Trump is actually a Zionist, and I find it strange that the same exact pyramid that's sitting in front of the Knesset in Israel is the exact same pyramid that's sitting in front of the IRS building in Maryland. He's not shutting anything down. Trump is not our friend. Trump is here to destroy. Trump is the king. What was the first thing that he talked about when he got inaugurated? Trump didn't answer anything about the drones. Trump didn't lower grocery prices. Trump didn't do anything to help Americans. He sent $500 billion to Operation Stargate, and then instantly made America part of the 10 kingdoms, exactly like in the Bible. Exactly. I mean, you can't deny it. It is what it is. I don't know how else to possibly get this through to people that this guy is here. This is the last one. This is the last one. There's a reason even mainstream picked up on the Last President book, his son Barron, Elon, everybody else that's in there. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to change anything that they're not there to change, okay? Klaus Schwab told us this. Here's the thing. I hope I don't forget this. I got to keep notes. But this is what happened to Army Rangers, the best of the best, and Delta Force by a bunch of barefooted people. So when people say, what do we do? Because we've got an extension. They were going to try to pull this all tomorrow, but they're pushing it off till July. This is what a bunch of people that don't even have shoes on did to the best military forces on earth.
They are jumping up and down on the crashed helicopter. All the people, they are cheering, saying, we are defeated the Americans.
America, who is around?
A bunch of barefoot third world people that literally live in tin shacks that don't even have shoes defeated the best forces, the Army Rangers and Delta Force, a force that they never even mentioned. They refuse to admit that it's real. Well, now it's on Netflix, so everybody knows about it. You see what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. And yet Americans won't even stand up for themselves, even though we have an ironclad constitution that shows us exactly what to do. The government was never supposed to get as out of control as it is. That's what the Bill of Rights and Constitution was, to keep the government from turning into what it is now. You know what I'm saying? And with people that have the ability, the money, the equipment, the gear, they're all on Donald Trump's side. You seeing this little square thing showing up? It's freaking me out. And we know bad times are coming. We know bad times are coming. Period. Because Klaus Schwab mentions it numerous times.
Are not our governments anymore. Rather, they have been taken over by the other side through their main platform, the World Economic Forum.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. And how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action.
That's who runs our Western power bloc, is these people. And the World Economic Forum is just one of these many entities. Klaus used to be the head of Bilderberg. So then
oh, really?
Yeah. Then he went on to be WEF head. He's very open about what all he wants to implement. And again,
I saw a clip of him talking about wanting to put a chip in everybody.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains
And I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
The Great Reset is not a conspiracy theory either. It's something that was talked about and supported openly on the World Economic Forum by Klaus Schwab.
We have had since 2001 to understand that these guys are doing massive moves. But maybe you didn't catch on. I didn't catch on in 2001. I tried to re-enlist in the military because I'm thinking, we're going to war. You know what I mean? America. But then I woke up. And then COVID happened. And I'm watching videos that are now, Fluvid19 is now on YouTube, saying every single solitary thing I ever said years after the fact. I was telling you live as it was happening every single solitary day. People get mad because I tell them to be careful of people that they follow on YouTube that are truthers that never show their faces. Do you know why? Ask someone that used to follow Jeranism. You know what I'm saying? People can be bought out. If you don't even know what somebody looks like, how do you know who they even are? Look at all the technology these guys are using with fake bots. I mean, if you're following somebody that you don't have any clue who they really are, you're mistaken, man. That's all there is to it. And I have a huge problem with that. A huge problem with that. At any rate, these guys are doing this, and Donald Trump is their boy. Donald Trump was the perfect fit in there because it quieted everybody down. He came into office, didn't do one thing he said he was going to do besides immigration, but you don't really hear much about that anymore either. The main concern was how much people were paying to live in the United States, how much people's property was being taken away, their rights are being taken away left, right, and center. The first thing he does is he gives $500 billion to billionaires the minute he comes into office, and then he starts going after pennies, nickels, dimes, etc. You know what I'm saying? And then they're doing the Doge thing. That's all that is to do, is to access information for the AI. Stuff that they couldn't necessarily get their hands on. Now they have a wide open door. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great distraction because it keeps people paying attention to that when they should be paying attention to things like this or this. Because that's what's important, period. And people are just not seeing the forest for the trees for whatever reason. So real quick, I'm going to show you a video from Minutes of Horror. And he's one of the guys that if he does a good video and he stays on point, I give him all the support in the world. But when he starts pushing for monetization and views over quality, you know what I'm saying? Then I give him a hard time. But once in a while, he's on it. This is what these guys have ready for us right now. This is horrifying. And remember this, okay? Everything that they're showing us with all these AI robots everywhere all of a sudden, you're seeing 50 years ago. We're not even seeing what's going to come out when it all hits the fan. But here, check this out.
Today's video. Back in 2024, news had come out that there was going to be a smart prison under a company called 𝗠𝗿𝗍𝗍. Now, 𝗠𝗿𝗍𝗍 has come out under their social media and stated that they are almost finished finalizing this project. But basically, it's just that. And this is going to relate for what I say later on in this video, where prisoners will have the choice of serving out their sentences over years, or they can serve it in perhaps a day, because they can get a chip planted in their brain where it'll feel like they served out 20 years. And not just that, they will feel all the pain and suffering of their victims. Their brain will have them believe they did all this over the course of 20 years, when in actuality, it only happened in 5 minutes. While some may believe this is good, this is great, especially for repeat offenders, my thing is, are they using these prisoners as test subjects? Because who really wouldn't want to reduce their sentence down to 5 minutes when they have to serve 20 years? And could this be something that's coming for the rest of us, given these smart cities, like I said, which I'll be talking about later on in this video? Like Larry Ellison puts it when it comes to Project Stargate, the most expensive AI program ever, $500 billion, they will be making sure the public are on their best behavior. Like if your behavior falls out of certain guidelines that they do not like, perhaps you follow certain politics, or perhaps you speak out against something, or you don't agree with something, is that also considered not being on your best behavior?
Has come up with a futuristic prison concept called 𝗠𝗿𝗍𝗍.
The 𝗠𝗿𝗍𝗍 concept offers a new approach to criminal rehabilitation, transforming how society deals with offenders by focusing on rehabilitation rather than punishment.
So it would implant synthetic memories of a crime from the victim's perspective into a criminal's brain. The system would use a VR kind of device to display AI-generated footage of the crime along with brain implants to induce feelings of remorse or regret. The process would take minutes but feel like years, and and costs much less than traditional incarceration methods.
Whoa,
I don't know how that would cost less, because that seems like a lot of scanning and technology and research.
I feel as though I need to reread that again because that was a lot to process. I was like,
there's a video that I saw yesterday on Instagram, at least, that breaks down the whole thing and the process and inducing the victim's memories.
It made me kind of think of, remember that show Black Mirror? Like that kind of a plot
It reads
twist,
like that, right?
Yeah, totally.
For sure.
Okay, so this is what I found.
On the balloon thing?
Right, just quickly.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Ellison's vision is for AI to analyze data from this network of cameras in real time.
So with all this talk of smart cities, especially given all these wildfires, really makes you wonder how their prison system will work.
Well, here's the deal. That AI prison system is for people like you and I. Because once Trump gets done what he's getting done, because if they had a deadline of March 10th, which is tomorrow, and they pushed it to July, there's been some issues. So they're going to make sure there's a reason why you're going to have to switch over to the Great Reset. You're going to have to do this because hackers or bank explosions or right-wingers or whatever excuse they decide to use, they're going to use, and they're going to destroy everything. And then everyone's going to be put on the social credit system. I think I did a video on that about 10 years ago.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 16th of July, 2017, and it's a very rare occasion, but I'm showing you a page from Wikipedia, and I want to show you a phrase. This is a phrase I heard an awful lot down south and out west. It's called the carrot and the stick. And it's an idiom that refers to a policy of offering a combination of rewards and punishment. So the carrot is the reward, and if you don't go for the carrot, well, you end up getting the stick. And as you can see, the stick is shaped exactly like a baseball bat. So it's either you take the carrot and everything is fine because we're the ones offering the carrot, or we'll back it up with the stick. Well, why am I showing you this? Because I'm going to show you this. This is a new app launched by a private company in concert with the Canadian government. You are not going to believe this.
We know we're supposed to exercise.
Do you want to put this in my bowl, please?
Eat well, and get enough sleep.
Earning points is simple, easy, and fun.
Now the Carrot Rewards app is ready to give you something for every healthy effort you make.
Completing a quiz.
Points that you can use for groceries, movies, even flights.
It seems like a good idea, rewarding people for their good behavior, I guess.
Yeah, sure, especially if you could turn it into travel rewards and shopping. That sounds great. So if I'm going to make healthy choices already, why not then get more benefits out of it too?
The app's founders partnered with government to create Carrot Rewards.
I love tracking my points to see how many I've collected.
Reducing disease burden and saving healthcare dollars.
So I'm not going to run that entire video just because I'm literally running my internet off of my Starlink because I'm in a place that doesn't have internet, which blows me away, but whatever. You sleep good here, I'll tell you that. But way back in 2017, in July, oddly enough, I was showing you that they were already rolling out the social credit system. That was 7 years ago. So they've already done all their testing, whether we even realized they tested us or not, because they wouldn't tell us they were doing it. But they do it in places like China and Canada and other countries that are friendly to whatever the New World Order tells them to do. But that's what all this is going to lead up to this coming July. This coming July. You know what I'm saying? And all the news outlets are reporting what Trump's doing.
We're in the Imperial Valley, the southeastern corner of California. Produce a lot of what we call winter vegetables. Leafy greens are grown in this area. I've talked to some counterparts of mine, some friends that do business in Mexico. They're thinking they're going to be paying a little bit more starting today, maybe tomorrow. They're not really sure how it's going to impact. There's a lot of questions right now across the produce industry of what the effects are going to be, but as of today, we haven't seen any effects. Any type of tariff or trade war, there's winners and losers. There's certain things that might be a positive for us. There may be some things that might be negatives. Concern on fertilizer price and some of our inputs. If those increase, that's going to put a damper on things. That's going to increase our costs. We're not real sure what's going to happen in planning for the future. As an American farmer, maybe we got the positive end of it, but again, depending on what our input costs do, it may be a wash for us. We just don't know until we see the economics start to play out between supply and demand on the market side and input side. What happens?
So all these good words and good phrases that Trump's told us, and saving money and Americans first, everything he is doing, all the tariffs are going to make living here even more expensive. Period. And meanwhile, you want to drop the deficit, you don't start by giving away $500 billion, which is what he did. You know what I'm saying? Maybe to pay off his people like Obama did when he bailed out the banks or whatever. I don't know. But I will tell you this. Get your money out of the bank or you're going to lose it. Period. A lot of you guys are still trickling in, and that's awesome. But I'm telling you, if you've got some money in the bank that you think you're going to need, you better get it out now, and these guys will do it for you. Also, this is no affiliation at all, but Off Grid Trek is offering 20% off on solar blankets, cables, and Faraday bags. And you can use the code FREEDOM20 because he doesn't know how these tariffs are going to affect Canada, and that's where he's at. And all that gear right there, especially those Faraday bags, if you remember, I gave away 2 of them, those $400 bags. You can fit everything in that, but you're going to need it because these guys are not messing around, and Trump has just basically done what he did the first time. Hillary's going to jail. I'm just kidding. No, she's not. I just said that to get elected. He's doing the same exact thing this time around. Get your money out of the bank, and 20% off is a big, big savings on stuff that you are going to need when all hell breaks loose. And all hell is going to break loose. They're doing this, man. It's insane the amount of stuff that's going on. At any rate, Richie from Boston. For now, I'm out.